Hello everybody, this is Funny Bunny of Doom, and I'm going to be showing you how to build a basic plane in Kerbal Space Program. Now you may not have all of these parts because of the mods that I'm running, but the basic concepts are the same, and that's what I'm going to be going over, so just use similar parts from what you have. Okay, so the first thing we need to know is the weight. We need to keep the weight as low as possible. So we can do things like get rid of your monopropellant or lower the amount of fuel that you have or use lighter kinds of fuel in order to get rid of some weight. Secondly, the construction of the craft. The general things that we are going to want in the basic aircraft is going to be cockpit, wings, control, landing, and propulsion. And then lastly, we need to look at the center of weight versus the center of lift. We want the center of weight to be in front of the center of lift. The center of lift should not be too far away from the center of weight, the center of mass. They should be relatively close. But it definitely wants to have the center of lift behind the center of mass. It can also help to have the center of lift above the center of mass, above and behind, but never below. Okay, now let's go ahead and build a basic plane. So the first thing, like I said, if you do not have some of these things, you can use the stock equivalents, but I'll try and do stock, so you want to use a cockpit. And now we need a fuselage to go with the cockpit. So remember I said to keep the weight as low as possible. So let's use just a small fuel. And sometimes you can put the fuel on the front and that'll put your weight towards the front and it'll make your plane fly even better. So let's do that. So let's see. So we have our fuel. Let's build our fuselage. Sort by size. That's usually the best way to build a plane. Structural fuselage. Let's give it a little bit of weight, or a little bit of, a little bit of size. And I'll use one of these aerodynamic cone thingies. Let's do this one. As a tail. Okay. Actually, we're going to make this really basic. It's not going to have a tail. That's going to be where the engine's going to go. Sounds good. Okay, so we have our cockpit. We have fuel, which is going to go towards our propulsion, but let's work on our wings. So go to aerodynamics, and we are going to want to find some wing connectors that we like. D's alright, that'll make a pretty... Let's find something a little bigger than D. C's perfect. Okay, hit the X button to double, and then we can hit Alt and click to copy, and then try and line it up the best you can. Make sure you're in snap mode. Alright, copy that. Boosh. Snap. Let's make it 6 for good measure. Okay, now we need control. We are going to, let's add the propulsion first. Well, okay, now wings. We'll finish wings and add control. Yeah, we're going to want another fuselage on here. Give it a little more. So we have wings. Okay, so you want, for your control, you want anything that has a control surface. We can put these control surfaces on here like this, or we can add these elevons to the lift surfaces that we already added to give them control surfaces. We are probably going to do both, so let's put one of these big ones. You probably don't need these. These are heavy, so I probably wouldn't use them, but we're going to add these. This is going to be our tail here. Hit the Z button to go into... Oops, not Z. X. Okay, X button to go into single mode. Alright. So we got wings and a little bit of control. We still need a little more control. Let's put the Elevon 3 here. We got, hit X again to double that up. We'll put that there. So you got big Elevon 2, Elevon 3. We have the tail fins, and we will assign them last. All right, so we need landing. You can research the kinds of landing setups that you like, but we are going to use the tail dragger setup. You can do whatever you want with this. All right, and now lastly, we need propulsion. So we are going to choose intake. You need intake air to run an engine. And we will choose an engine. Let's see, the Weasley turbofan. Okay, now that we've built our craft, we need to check our center of weight, our aerodynamic overlay. Our center of lift is in front of our center of mass. So we're going to use the move tool. We're going to click on the wings. We're going to drag the wings back to about here. You can do other things as well, like rotate swept wings. I like the look of the swept wings better, so we are going to do that. That looks great. Could lift the wings up if you'd like, get the center of lift a little bit above the center of mass. And do keep in mind things like when the fuel goes down, your center of weight is going to be there. So if you still want to control your craft when it has no fuel in it, test it out with no fuel. Like, do that and look at how it aligns. Looks like we'd still be good without fuel. Okay, now the last thing that we have to set up is going to be our actual controls. So we're going to click on the front elevons and we're going to give them pitch. Now freeze, pause at this point, and look at these. So we have front elevons as pitch. We have the wing way out as far as you can go elevons are going to be the roll. These flat tail fins are also going to be pitch. And our top rudder is going to be yaw. So top rudder yaw. Our fins are going to be pitch. Our wings are going to be roll. And we're going to have pitch at the front elevons. Now, a lot of times you'll have the wings up higher and maybe go back a little further, swept back way further, a lot like, let's say, a MiG or something. And then you can hide your elevons in the front of the wing. That way, no one will ever notice. And a lot of people on streams talk about not offsetting your elevons. But if you use smaller elevons, you can put them inside your craft with offset, and it makes it look a lot nicer. Okay, so we are going to name this, in case I already have a plane, let's name it the plane MK1 so we can make changes in the future. Save and launch.